It's becoming more and more difficult to teach a child to see beauty. After all, modern children cannot imagine a life without gadgets and unnaturally bright screens. They lock themselves in these unreal worlds and stop seeing the beauty of nature and architecture. But all the most beautiful things are around us. The Impressionists saw this like no one else. They captured on their canvases the moment of life in all its variability and mobility. One of the brightest representatives of this trend was Claude Monet. He was obsessed with light and color and did a multi-year study aimed at capturing the fleeting, elusive shades of nature on canvas. To get acquainted with the creativity and technique of the Impressionists, we'll try here in the studio to create one of his most famous and beautiful paintings. By the master Monet, it's Pond with Jugs, Japanese Bridge. It conveys exactly the impression that can be felt at your fingertips. It was with the painting Impression that everything began. Monet was an innovator. He created not just a landscape, but his impressions of it. In each of his paintings, he captured his soul, his fleeting sensation which will never be repeated. To get to know the technique and the creativity of the Impressionists better and closer, today in the studio, we'll recreate one of the famous paintings by Claude Monet, Bridge Over a Pond with Water Lilies, or The Japanese Bridge. We'll create a picture with plasticine and feel like real artists. To do this, we need cardboard for the base, a pencil, and of course, plasticine. It's better to use waxy, soft plasticine. We have this kind in the studio. You need to start work with a sketch. Let's take a close look at our picture. The first thing that catches your eye is the bridge. Let's draw it. Draw the line in the middle. If it didn't work out neatly, don't worry. We make this mark for ourselves. When the sketch is ready, you can proceed to the plasticine. We'll need all shades of green and we'll mix them. White plasticine is the most popular. Use yellow because we have a lot of sun. Mix and search for shades and halftones that suit you. Now your fingers are turning into brushes and plasticine is turning into paint. We will mix the colors in our hands. We have the main green and light green, but in the picture you can see a wide variety of shades. Since the day is sunny, let's add some yellow and new shades to our palette. Plasticine mixes easily and the shade is wonderful. We'll make the white, bright color a little pastel. Once Claude Monet woke up in the morning and looked out the window and was so impressed by the sun, he created a picture, which he called The Impression of the Sunrise. He was French, and all paintings and painters who painted like this came to be called the Impressionists. In the studio, we mix a sufficient number of shades and you can start sculpting. Plasticine should be applied to cardboard with wide strokes. Start with light spots. By the way, the place where Monet created this painting is called Giverny, not far from Paris. Monet created over 60 paintings of this pond. With the stack, you can work in different ways. You can also draw with it. You can use different sides of the stack. It's important to note that not every plasticine is suitable for plasticine painting. Our soft plasticine is ideal for this lesson, and the pastel range of colors seems to have been created for this water lily picture. Spread the material in broad strokes over the painting. Feel free to mix colors and express your emotions like Claude Monet did before. We have an excellent mother-of-pearl plasticine in our studio. You can create a special water lily and put it into a pond. It won't sink, as this plasticine doesn't sink. If you remember the line that we drew at the beginning, you can select it with the stack. We apply shades of blue and emerald in large strokes to the picture. If you want an experiment with color, you can use neon plasticine that glows in the dark. After you've applied all the clay, you can help yourself with a stack and, like a real artist, complete the picture. Childhood is the most fertile soil on which to cultivate a receptiveness to beauty. After all, children have an innate craving for beauty, arising from the clarity of their gaze. But the child's aesthetic ideals are formed exclusively by what's presented to them as aesthetic standards. Therefore, it's so important to surround your child not only with popular heroes, cartoons, and magazines, but also to study the history of art with them, see and discuss artistic themes, and develop aesthetic taste. Co-creation is not only a process of creation, but also art therapy. Art helps to see the diversity of the world in different colors with the help of artistic standards, and creativity is to be involved in the process of creating a work of art.